Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're taking a closer look at the battery life of the brand new Apple Watch Series 11, and we're testing both sizes, the 42mm and the 46mm version. And I've been wearing both models over the past days under the exact same conditions, and I will tell you which one actually lasts longer. And at the very end, we will also do a quick comparison with my Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 results. So stick around and let's get right into it. Before we jump into the numbers, let's quickly talk about the test conditions because that's super important to put the results into context. I tested both Apple Watch Series 11 models at the same time, starting at 100% battery at 11:30 in the evening. Always on display mode was enabled, brightness was set to maximum, all health trackers were running the entire time, so that's the heart rate, SpO2, sleep tracking and so on. On top of that, I received around 30 notifications, did one 35-minute GPS workout, and otherwise I used the watch only lightly. Definitely below average usage and much less than what most people would consider normal everyday interaction. Let's start with the bigger 46mm version. After the first night with 7.5 hours of sleep tracking, the battery was at 94%, so just 6% drain overnight. After a total of 13 hours of use, it was down to 78%. At the 24-hour mark, including the 35-minute GPS workout, I still had 41% left. Then came the second night with another 7 hours and 45 minutes of sleep tracking, and afterwards the battery showed 29%. Finally, the watch completely died the next day at 3:45 p.m. If you calculate that from the start time at 11:30 p.m. until the end at 3:45 p.m., that gives a total runtime of 40 hours and 15 minutes. For an Apple Watch, that is really solid, especially with always on enabled and max brightness settings. Definitely much longer than the 24 hours Apple officially claims. Now how about the smaller 42mm version? After the first night with 7.5 hours of sleep tracking, the battery was already down to 90%, a 10% drain overnight, which is noticeably more than the bigger one. After 13 hours, it was at 71%. After 24 hours, including the workout, there was just 26% left. Then came the second night with another 7 hours and 45 minutes of sleep tracking, and after that, the battery was down to only 13%. By 11:45 a.m. the next day, it was completely dead. That means 11:30 p.m. start time until 11:45 a.m. and end time. The total runtime was 36 hours and 15 minutes. So about 4 hours less than the 46mm model. Still better than Apple's promise, but clearly shorter than the bigger watch. Of course, the difference also comes down to the battery capacity, even though Apple doesn't really share the exact numbers. What I can say is that both charge at the same speed. Apple states about 60 minutes for a full charge from 0 to 100%, and that matches my testing. With just a 30-minute quick charge, you can get around 80%, which is more than enough to easily get you through the rest of the workday. Now, battery life isn't everything, but let's be honest, it makes a huge difference in daily life. If you really want to wear the Apple Watch 24/7, including at night for sleep tracking, you need to know how long it lasts. In my test, the big 46mm gave me a good 40 hours, which means you don't necessarily have to charge it every single day if you plan it smartly. With a smaller 42mm, you're at about 36 hours, which means you will almost always need to charge it daily. And just to put things into perspective, I recently tested all of the Galaxy Watch 8 models, and the 46mm Classic came in at nearly 46 hours, so that's a clear winner. Compared directly, the Apple Watch Series 11 falls behind. Even the larger 46mm version topped out at around 40 hours, which is still less than the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. The smaller 42mm drops back even further, so Samsung is clearly ahead in battery life. That said, Apple does win points for software integration and faster GPS lock. At the end of the day, it really comes down to what's more important to you. So to wrap it up quickly, the Apple Watch Series 11 in 46mm lasted about 40 hours and 15 minutes in my test, while the smaller 42mm lasted about 36 hours and 15 minutes. Both are improvement compared to what we've seen in the past from Apple, but neither can quite match Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 lineup. And that's already it for the day, so don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe. You will also find a link to the watch down below in the description. And I guess with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.